Today, we're diving into Tony Robbins' massive guide, Money, Master the Game. Now, this book is basically a blueprint, right? A powerful 7-step plan that's designed to help pretty much anyone get to financial freedom.
But let's be real, for so many of us, the whole world of finance feels exactly like this. A super complicated, kind of overwhelming game where you don't even know the rules. It feels like you're set up to lose from the start. And you know, the book points out this huge trap we fall into. We end up acting like a herd, just following the crowd because, well, it feels safer. But that approach, it almost never gets you where you really want to go.
And if you feel this way, listen, you are so not alone. A staggering 77%, that's more than 3 out of every 4 Americans, say they have financial worries. The stress is absolutely real and it is widespread.
So how do you break out of that cycle? Well, here's the really cool thing about this book. Tony Robbins isn't trying to be the financial guru. Nope. Instead, he's our guide, our all-access pass to the absolute masters of the money game. We're talking the top 0.001%. To write this book, he went on a 4-year quest. He got these incredible deep dive interviews with more than 50 of the most successful financial minds on the entire planet. So this isn't just theory, you know? It's wisdom straight from the people who are actually winning the game. And just look at this lineup. I mean, come on. We are talking about legends. John Bogle, the guy who completely changed investing for everyday people. Ray Dalio, who started the world's biggest hedge fund. Warren Buffett, Carl Icahn, the list just goes on and on. These are the brains he picked for us.
And you don't just have to take my word for it. The legendary trader Paul Tudor Jones summed it up perfectly. Robbins didn't just collect a bunch of cool stories, he actually figured out how to simplify their super complex strategies into a system that anyone, and yeah, that means you, can actually use.
So what's the big idea here? What's the one thing that drives this whole book? It all comes down to a fundamental shift in how you see yourself and your relationship with money. It's about going from being a consumer to becoming an owner.
And this chart just lays it out so clearly. See, as a consumer, you're constantly trading your time for money. You're a piece on the board in someone else's game. But when you become an owner, an investor, everything flips. Your money starts working for you. You're not the chess piece anymore, you're the chess player. You stop being mastered by money and you finally start mastering it. Okay, so you're probably thinking, that sounds great, but how in the world do I actually do that? Well, Robbins lays out this incredibly clear, actionable roadmap. So let's take a look at the 7 steps that are really the core of the whole book. And here it is, the blueprint itself. It all starts with a decision, a real commitment to becoming an investor. Then you gotta learn the rules so you don't get played. Step 3 is all about figuring out what you actually want. You know, pricing your dreams. Then you learn how to invest smart, create an income stream that lasts, and finally, you get to use the playbook of the billionaires. It's a whole journey, from your mindset all the way to taking concrete action. Now I know, looking at all 7 of those steps at once can feel a little overwhelming. So Robbins gives us the single most important first move, the one thing you can start doing today. He calls it your freedom fund. Now, this is not just some boring old savings account, okay? Think of it like a money machine. The idea is simple. You decide on a percentage of your income, it doesn't matter how small you start, and you make it automatic. You save and invest it without even thinking. This thing becomes the engine of your financial freedom, working for you 24/7.
So what's the fuel for this money machine? It's the magic, the absolute miracle of compounding. This is where your money starts making money, and then the money it just made starts making its own money. It's kind of slow at first, but believe me, over time, the growth is explosive.
And listen, if you think that's just some nice theory, get this. The man himself, Warren Buffett, one of the richest people in history, says his success comes from 3 things. And right there, next to living in America and having some lucky genes, is compound interest. That's how powerful it is. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but where am I supposed to find this extra money to invest? The great thing is, the book doesn't just leave you hanging. It gives you practical tools, like this mindful savings exercise, to help you really look at your spending, cut out the stuff that doesn't bring you joy, and then funnel that cash right into your freedom fund.
But let's just zoom out for a second here. All of these steps, all these funds and strategies, what are they really for? What's the ultimate goal? The book makes a really strong case that it isn't just about piling up a mountain of cash.
This quote, I think, just hits the nail on the head. Real wealth isn't a number in your bank account. It's freedom. It's having options. It's having the ability to truly and fully experience life on your own terms. That is the real prize we're playing for. So we'll leave you with this question, which is really the question that starts the whole journey. Before you can master the game of money, you have to know why you're playing. What does that extraordinary life, that real wealth, look like for you? Because answering that question is the very first step to making it all a reality.